calm down, Handler. It's just a wing drake.
I caught it!
What?
Where the hell are we going?
The lands, Handler. We're going to the lands.
The lands? What do you mean the lands? Where the hell are the lands?
Well, it doesn't really matter as long as you know that once we are there, I'll be your guide. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and it has finally happened. Iceborne, the most expansive expansion a Monster Hunter game has ever had, is now totally playable. And not to make us sound like absolute maniacs, but a certain couple of people with varying skill levels and varyingly colored hair may have just gone and got themselves into the endgame. The endgame, and I'll be damned if it isn't the most interesting endgame we could ever have possibly dreamt that this game could ever have. However, due to just how much there is, it can get a little bit confusing. So without further ado, here is your guide to the guiding lands. Have you ever found yourself wandering through the ancient forest and thinking to yourself, man, I wish I could just walk to the Wildspire Wastes? If you have, then today is your lucky day. If you've never had that thought in your life, however, today is also your lucky day. Today is everyone's lucky day, because the guiding lands is actually a new map, an absolutely massive full map. Hunters who've played the 4th generation of Monster Hunter games will have a solid memory of something called the Everwood. But for the rest of us, the Everwood was a map that contained every biome and therefore was capable of having just about every monster in the game. The Guiding Lands is Iceborne's Everwood. And that's just the start of it. So, Ancient Forest, Wildspire Waste, Coral Highlands, and Rotten Vale. These are the 4 different biomes within the Guiding Lands, and within these biomes, you can find every single monster in the game that isn't totally exclusive to either the Eldest Recessed or the Hoarfrost Reach. Of course, also excluding things like the final bosses, and Kulftaroth, and Zora Magdaros, well, sort of no Zora, and sort of a lot of Zora. In fact, my theory is that the Guiding Lands, or at least a portion of it, is just simply the skeleton of the Zora Magdaros that we sent out to the sea. The expulsion of bioenergy that we were warned about 100 times in the base world story, causing the massive mix of environments that the Guiding Lands just is. Like regular maps in Monster Hunter World, you can only have 3 monsters wandering around at a time, and each of the 3 monsters will be attributed to one of the 4 locales. Even roaming monsters have locales attributed. For example, this Bonboro attributed to the Rotten Vale, which is just really offensive because he is way more of an ancient forest. Every one of these 4 regions has a level associated with it. This level is dynamic, and the actions you take to raise the level of one region will slowly lower the other 3. The level of a region determines the type of monster that shows up. For example, a level 1 region could have a Kulu, or a Titsy, or a Jagras, all the way up to tempered Elder Dragons roaming around at level 7. At the beginning of your journey on this glorious map, you will only be able to get each region to level 4. However, through assignments that appear at MR 49, 69, and 99, you can level them up 1 extra region level apiece. If you get your Ancient Forest to level 3, you'll unlock a brand new monster. And at level 6 in each of the 4 different zones, you will unlock another new monster. What I'm trying to say is you may be in the endgame, but people, there is so much more left to see that you have no idea about. Your Monster Hunter journey is far from over.
You sound insane. Do you realize that?
You level up these locales through various interactions with the monsters attributed, including breaking parts, successfully using a trap, and having a turf war happen within that region. With me so far? I really hope so, because this is where the whole thing gets even more complex!
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
There's a new side objective system in the Guiding Lands known as Special Track Analysis, and the first Special Track Analysis you are given upon entering the Guiding Lands for the first time is a good old boy from previous games making his first appearance in World, Zinogre, and he is absolutely gorgeous. His appearance is also used as a sort of tutorial for the Special Track Analysis system, but again, like the rest of the information thrown at you just on a little panel, it can be a little bit hard to dissect without proper context, so here is the context. If you find evidence of a turf war, which is a new randomly spawning track that you can find in the Guiding Lands, you are 100% guaranteed to receive a quest for Special Track Analysis, as seen in the top right, which shows up with no information other than the category of monster it is for. There are a few other ways of getting Special Track Analysis quests as well, but they are all a fairly rare chance to happen, including breaking parts, capturing or killing a monster, collecting tracks, or even somehow from gathering from bone piles and mining nodes in the Guiding Lands. Completing a Special Track Analysis gives you a one-time use ability to summon a specific monster to the Guiding Lands. For example, this Brute Wyvern becomes Anjanath, and this Flying Wyvern became Nargacuga. The number of objectives required to finish a Special Track Analysis varies from monster to monster, but the way that you complete each of these objectives always stays the same, and the answer is simply fighting monsters. more specifically, specific monsters. The first part break you get on any monster in the Guiding Lands will complete one objective towards the quest. However, the first part break on a monster of the same category as the quest will net you 2 complete objectives. Killing or capturing a monster of the same category is also worth 1 objective, however, killing or capturing anything else is not. If you kill a tempered monster in the Guiding Lands, you will just straight up complete the analysis that you have active, and if you don't have any active at all, you'll be given a new one and have it complete instantly. On top of this, if you somehow manage to get so astronomically lucky that you break apart on the monster that the special tracks are actually for, you will instantly complete the analysis as well. But what does this actually mean? The monsters in the Guiding Lands, every single one, drop unique parts that aren't accessible from fighting them in different locations, and what these parts can make is arguably the real technical endgame in Iceborne. The reason you will farm aside from pure enjoyment, and that reason is our new weapon augmentation system, which is quite different than Base World. As a quick side note that doesn't really fit in anywhere else, there is a second camp in the Guiding Lands right here in Area 3. It is extremely worth noting that when you return from the Guiding Lands, your level progress towards the region and your special track analysis will be saved, so you can use them when you return. You don't have to stay there, nothing like that. So all in all, what we have here is an ever-changing, evolving map that can have just about any creature in the entire game wandering around it at any given time. We have more new monsters to continue working towards, we have a way to increase our power for a long time, and more importantly than either of those, we have what truly is an endless hunting system. A place where you can hunt for hours and hours and hours and get top-tier rewards every step of the way without a single loading screen. Gone will be the days of singular quests. Bring on the marathon level hunting sessions. Alright everyone, I've been Cotton Dinosaur, and today I've been your guide to the Guiding Lands. What other things happening in Iceborne would you like to know about? And are there any more mechanics you'd like explained? Like if you like the video, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet. This is the brand new outro to tell you all the things that you do that we love, so let's start with something simple and say, oh, we love your eyes. When they're watching us play video games, we make a bunch of jokes that are kinda lame, or when they gaze upon our failures as we try to kill the monsters or report important news about the Kingdom Animania. Rage, Cotton, and Hollow are all here, talking about the things you want to hear, so if you want to be the first to hear, like and subscribe and the bell and will cheer. Some of you are patrons even though we are all the noobs and you're the pros. There's nothing we can do to thank you. No, really, there's nothing we could possibly do. Goodbye.